So, most people know, hopefully, that Sony and Microsoft released brand new consoles, and they're coming up with even more consoles. It seems like every freaking day there's a new gaming console, and I don't really know. It's probably just because, you know, once new games come out, they're like, oh, this game has this bit of more graphics capability, it's just a tad bit better, so let's release a brand new console, even though it would have ran perfectly fine on the previous console. And it could be that, it could be just Microsoft getting bored and being like, well, this is real boring, you know, developing for Windows gets a little boring, so let's make a freaking console. But no, really, it's all marketing, because, you know, the more products you release, the more income you get, and it's just a business tailspin. But a lot of people think, well, I want to get the new Xbox Scorpio or the Xbox S. Hopefully, you're talking about the Xbox Scorpio, because the S is just a smaller version of the Xbox One. Same with the PlayStation 4 Slim. But the PlayStation Pro and the Xbox Scorpio, and you're thinking, oh my god, they're basically just freaking masterpieces. They can run at like 60 to 120 FPS, 4K, blah, 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 blah. But most people don't realize that that was already invented way before the Xbox One even came out. 4K, I mean, you know, PCs already had that, and you guys might think, oh, well then, I really want this Xbox, but maybe I should go spend all my money on a PC. And if you guys have heard that PCs are cheaper, well, whoever told you that is a big liar, because really, you can get a console-crushing PC at $300. It's still going to be a tad bit more than the console, including Windows, but still, I mean, you know, it's not going to do 4K, so what's a console crusher to a Scorpio or a Pro? And who knows if these consoles are even capable of doing true 4K. It might just be a freaking scam like Microsoft and Sony do. If you actually look, the games are supposed to be at 1080p, but some TVs will tell you what the current resolution is, and it always says 720p or 1080i, and that's because consoles really aren't as powerful. Of course, they are embedded devices with very, very small hardware. The Xbox only has 512 megabytes of RAM. I'm like, how does that thing even load a game? I mean, what the heck? My Windows XP computer from when I was 4 years old had that much RAM. What the heck? Well, basically what it is it's called console optimization, to where the software is so tiny that all that hardware gets to get used. So, on a PC, you have to have so much high-end hardware, like, you know, 16 gigs of RAM and this great graphics card. And consoles are computers. I'm just going to put that out. They've got pretty much the same thing, except it's modified a little bit different to suit just as a console. Because consoles only do one thing. Well, they used to. Now they do multiple things. But their main purpose is for gaming. And, of course, PCs don't just do that. You can check your email, you can go on the internet and look at YouTube videos, which you can do on a console, sadly, nowadays, so that's requiring more hardware. That's why the Xbox One, you know, has better hardware, because it's adding additional things. But, so Windows, when you put it on your PC, is so freaking huge, it takes up pretty much all of your hardware, and you get left with nothing to game. So that's why you gotta add so much stuff. But Xbox runs a small version of Windows, like Windows Embedded, and PlayStation runs some Linux distribution that I'm not even going to get into, that allows that little amounts of hardware to be able to play good. Now, I'm not saying what Xbox says, you know, in PlayStation with their AMD Jaguar 8-core, but AMD, really? I mean, AMD was good back in the day, but now if you want a gaming computer, get Intel. Unless you want to get a really cheap one, but that's because software optimization allows it to run with, I mean, somewhat good parts, and the Xbox One has pretty good, but, you know, you could get a PC with more, but that's going to cost you way more. So, in the end, console versus PC. In today's date, I don't know. I mean, it's really complicated. It depends what you want. And it depends your budget, too, guys. I'm going to get serious here. It depends your budget. and what you really want out of your gaming experience. Now, PCs are always going to be better any day, unless for some reason a console does something magical, but PC is always going to be better. So I would try to get a PC. I mean, in my opinion, get a PC. It's going to cost you more, but if you can afford that, get a PC. And if you don't, or you're like, I don't want to sit at a desk, I want to sit on my couch like I do an Xbox. Well, you can buy a Steam box that's really little, but has super capable powers of a PC, and you can plug a controller into it. It's that simple. But yeah, I mean, if you have a low budget of $300, of course you can build a PC, but if you want it to just work right and always game no matter what, for, you know, now with PC, it's like, you get more performance. Yes, the performance is outrageous, but there's that chance of it breaking down. But with consoles, they can break down, but it's very rarely. So, that's pretty much it, guys. I would get a PC if you can afford it, but if you can't and you just want something reliable and you don't really care about graphics and stuff, get a console. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Remember to check out more of T2R Tech, and I'll see you in the next one.